Of damage from our area at this point?
So far, Robert, we've been kind of scanning things. We haven't gotten any official reports so far, but the main thing we've been noticing, as you've already pointed out, that in terms of this kind of a squall line that's moving into the area, the northern part of it is weakening quite a bit. That's not to mean that there's not going to be strong weather in like Hillsdale and Williams counties, but it just means that in terms of overall intensity, not as bad there. But as we've been pointing out, this area that's been down across parts of western Putnam and even Allen counties and even kind of the southeastern bit of Defiance County there, that's what we're looking at as some of the heaviest weather right now. I'll throw a storm track on that, and the reason why we continue to have this in the really wide mode is for us to track these storms at 70 miles an hour. Look at how far this box has to be drawn over. So as it continues to move towards the east, we're looking at Lipsick at 1148, Columbus Grove 1149, 1152 for Pandora, and 1158 for Deschler. And keep in mind, local time is 11:38, so this is just taking us through the next 20 minutes or so. We just got a report from the Defiance County Emergency Management that a funnel cloud was spotted just east of Sherwood by the Sherwood Fire Department. But as of right now, that's the only report that we've had of any funnel-like activity. A lot of this has just been some straight-line wind damage. And a lot of times when we have damage across the viewing area, people want to know, well, was it a tornado or not? In situations like this, it's really just an academic point because straight line winds can create similar, if not worse, damage than a tornado because it does more of a wider kind of range of scale. You know, a tornado can hit a couple of blocks or a little portion of a city, but a straight line wind event can actually affect multiple areas of an entire county. And, you know, not out of the realm of possibility, some of these areas of strong winds exceeding 80 miles an hour. But most of the reports that we've been seeing thus far have been more so of thunderstorm wind damage versus anything tornadic. I want to kind of switch around and show you some other camera views and whatnot that we have across our viewing area. It's been getting really dark downtown, and areas like out in Put-in-Bay, our Jet Express camera, the waves have really been kicking up. So even if you're not seeing the strong weather right at this moment, it is impending. So even areas like Greater Toledo, Sandusky, Put-in-Bay, Marblehead down towards Tiffin and Fremont, this weather will be coming towards you after the noontime hour, so it'll continue to get darker. The winds will continue to increase, and we may even have some wind gusts outside of the thunderstorms over 40 miles an hour, so you could even see some minor wind damage just from the winds ahead of this cold front. This is how it looks downtown through our live SkyTrack 11 1 Seagate cam. We continue to watch our SkyTrack 11 camera network. Deschler, Belmore, and then it gets to just west of Gilboa right now. It's near and east of the city of Ottawa. I'll take a wide approach here just for a moment, and we're going to just turn the warnings off for a second so we can focus on the storm tracks of these. They are moving between 60 and 70 miles an hour. So what we have going on with this line is it's going to continue to cruise right through Wood and Hancock and eventually even Hardin counties there. So we're looking at about 65 to 70 mile an hour speed there. Pandora at 12:13, which is just a few moments from now. North Baltimore 12:16, Findlay at 12:19, and then there we go, Bowling Green 12:20. This cell to the north here, which is just to the north of Wauseon, is tracking towards the east-northeast. That one's moving quickly as well, and that would take it to Ottawa Hills at about 12:33, the Old Orchard area, Temperance, Michigan 12:36, and Greater Toledo at 12:39. And this is a summarization of the warnings that we have. The ones in red are tornado warnings, so we have Hillsdale, Lenawee, most of Fulton County, all of Lucas County. You've probably been hearing the sirens go off. Eastern Putnam County and about the eastern two-thirds of Allen counties. The ones that you see in orange there for Bowling Green and Findlay, for Wood, Hancock, and Hardin counties, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. The area in pink that you see drawn in over Lake Erie, those are marine warnings for anyone that has boating concerns. But within our own viewing area here, we're watching this line getting right towards I-75. Let's go over to Robert Shields, and he'll give you a little bit more radar analysis as we continue to look at our Storm Track 11 Doppler. Bobby?
This is a storm, Mike, that we had a very good handle on for the last couple of days, and it is a massive storm system that's affecting much of the United States.
All right, I want to get back over to our Storm Track 11 team now. Got some more weather developing out there as we speak, guys.
Hey, guys, one thing I want to kind of point out to you, we haven't had a lot of reports like funnel clouds or rotation with these storms Just a lot of wind damage, and even with severe thunderstorm warnings, you may want to take tornado precautions because with winds 70, 80 miles an hour or higher, we could have damage of like trees coming into houses and whatnot. So you want to get into a sturdy shelter, an interior hallway. Either turn up the TV very loudly or also simulcast on some of the Clear Channel radio stations if you want to take a radio with us to the basement. This line of thunderstorms just south of Greater Toledo, just about to move into Bowling Green and then extends just west of Findlay. You notice this big bow shape. This is what is indicating the fact that we have some really strong winds there. The area to the north has broken up a little bit. Still some isolated, stronger cells with that. I'll talk about that in just a moment, but let's zoom you in on what's going on right now. We have a heavier part of the thunderstorm now just right near and south of Maumee, and this goes right over I-75, just east of Haskins and west of Lucky. It's just about ready to move into downtown Bowling Green. You can see it right there. We're talking just a matter of about a minute or so, and we'll extend this southward. You can see towards Portage, Signet, Jerry City to the east of that. And then towards the south and west, we're looking at just west of North Baltimore and then through Macomb and then southwestward to just east of Gilboa. Let's take a little wider perspective for a moment. And what we're going to do is put a storm track on this line. And you can see it's covering a large stretch of real estate here. It extends all the way down from Wood County through Hancock into Hardin counties. And we'll just track this entire line at about 65 miles an hour, and that would take it through North Baltimore at 1221, Findlay 1224, Pemberville at 1228, Kenton at 1230, Bradner 1231, and Woodville at 1232. So that is just pretty much taking us through about the next 10 or 12 minutes. And again, these are moving about 65 miles an hour, so they are not going to last a terribly long time, but you're going to have about a good 10 to 30 minute period there of torrential downpours, a lot of thunder and lightning, maybe some hail, but more so that we're worried about is the potential for some really damaging winds. In fact, we've been talking about this all day. Chris was talking about it a lot on our morning news this morning. You know, there is a risk of tornadoes there, but what we're mainly concerned with, though, is this extreme threat of wind damage. And we've been mentioning during our coverage so far, when you have winds at times of 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, and they're very widespread, we can actually see damage that's actually worse than isolated tornado damage. So we'll just put this in motion and show you the track from the last about 2 hours. You can watch these storms as they've been cruising into the viewing area. The northern flank of that is weakening a little bit, but what we have right now going on is pretty much the heaviest part of this line is moving right towards Findlay, towards Bluffton, Ada, and parts of central and western Hancock and Kenton counties. We're going to switch our coverage now and check in with Lauren Lowry. Lauren, what you got?
Yeah, Mike, we've got our...
Something like that. Want to check back in now with our Storm Track 11 team as you guys continue to be on top of this storm as it moves through.
Hey guys, well, we just had an updated live sweep of the radar here, and the storm is now, the heart of it, going right over I-75, going right through the heart of Bowling Green, just east of Portage right now. We're looking at some winds possibly in excess of 70 or 80 miles an hour, so even though this is not a tornado, you need to take shelter. We could have some extreme damage with trees coming down, power lines coming down, and right now it's moving right through the heart of Bowling Green. We'll pop on a few streets and cities here. It's crossing right over Highway 6, right over Highway 75. It's moving over Scotch Ridge Road, and over North Findlay Road as of the current moment. We'll take a wider perspective and show you that that line of heavy thunderstorm activity extends southward into southern Wood County and the western half of Hancock County through Findlay. What's going on is some of the heaviest part is now moving through Benton Ridge, Macomb, and Rawson and Genera, and that will continue tracking eastward. Some damage probably very definite with some of these thunderstorm winds. Also, this line just cleared Ada and Alger. It's moving through western Kenton County. Want to widen the picture here. I want to show you one other thing. We have some updated watches and warnings. The tornado warnings pretty much west of I-75 roughly have been dropped. We still have a tornado warning for southeastern Lenawee County, most of Monroe, and all of Lucas County. And then we have severe thunderstorm warnings for Hancock and Wood counties and Hardin counties as well. All areas west of that, the tornado warnings have been allowed to expire because the system is moving as quickly as it is. We've not forgotten about Greater Toledo and Southeast Michigan. The one cell that we're concerned with is in eastern Lenawee County. This is moving towards 23. It's crossing right through Blissfield. and this will continue working throughout western Monroe County. And I'll just do one storm track on that as it goes through Monroe County. We're looking at some timing of this hitting Luna Pier by about 12:40. So between now and then, it should move through Dundee, Lambertville, Temperance, and then Monroe, and then eventually Detroit Beach. Mel and Dan?
All right, we do want to go back again down to Bowling Green State University. Thank you very much.
Let's head over back to the Storm Track 11 Weather Center. Mike Stone, what you seeing right now?
Well, Laura, we've had some reports of some estimated wind gusts, Swanton, 55 miles an hour. But the one that's really kind of sticking out there is Lima at 70 miles an hour. Again, these are not tornadic winds, just thunderstorm winds. The line now continues to cross over I-75. You can see not a lot of lightning with this, but the heaviest part of the weather that's moving through our viewing areas east of Bowling Green and extends south through Hancock County. Here's an update on the watches and warnings. A tornado warning for central and northern Monroe County. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca, Wyandotte, Hardin, eastern Hancock, eastern Wood County, and just the very tiny eastern tip of Lucas County. That is what we have, the current watches and warnings right now. Let's go over to Robert Shields, and he'll take us through some of these storms with our Storm Track 11 Doppler. Bobby?
Mike, this storm is verifying to our forecast extremely well. For this risk of wind damage, we need to continue these severe thunderstorm warnings through Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca, and Wyandotte counties, and likely all the way east into our easternmost counties. So in Oak Harbor, this storm is coming to you in about 4 minutes at 12:52, Fremont 12:55, Ballville 12:55, and into Tiffin before 1 p.m. Before 1 p.m., the heaviest winds will pass through you in Upper Sandusky, and in Green Springs, about 1 o'clock, the wind will come whipping across the fields there. So Sandusky and Seneca County still look under the gun for the risk of wind damage. All the way up into Ottawa County, the northern end of the storm is starting to re-intensify just a bit, and that's extending from Reno Beach and just east of Maumee Bay State Park on down through Trowbridge and now east of Woodville, heading into Lindsay as well, and the strong wind gusts approaching Oak Harbor along State Route 163. That line continues south. And it is approaching State Route 590 there. And as we continue south, we're looking at Gibsonburg and Helena down to Burgoon and Bettsville for the leading edge. Look how thick that storm has become right here. And you can see just a little bit of a bow taking place. So the heaviest wind is likely in this corridor right here into Bettsville. And that's approaching you on the southern end of Fremont. Our biggest concern.
All right. I want to check back in now with our Storm Track 11 team. You guys are keeping a very close eye on the storm as it moves through. It's moved past Toledo, now moving to areas to our east.
That's right, Dan and Mel. We also have a new report of some damage 2 miles north of Archbold. Trees and power lines are down at the intersection of Route 66 and Route 2. This is a plot of all the severe weather reports coming in from the National Weather Service. The triangles are where we've had tornado reports. Where we have all these orange dots, that's where we've had wind damage reports. And you can see them now moving into western Ohio. There was a lot of damage done throughout parts of central Indiana. So these storms have weakened slightly since then. There was widespread damage of like trees and houses and power lines down. So that line of storms has weakened just a little bit, but we're still dealing with a pretty nasty line of storms now. And
back over to the weather team over there, and it looks as though we are on the back end of this storm, moving through.
Yeah, in fact, what's going on now, Dan and Mel, is the heart of this severe weather now is passing east of I-75. We still have some heavy rain behind it, but the wind damage threat is now where you see the red on our Storm Track 11 Doppler. It's moving with that line that you see there. We'll zoom on in on this line of storms, which stretches from the lakeshore down through Oak Harbor. It will be moving into Fremont momentarily. It's moving through Bettsville, moving right into Tiffin right now, moving into Upper Sandusky, and moving east of Kenton. But this line will continue tracking eastward at about 65 miles an hour. So as we put a storm track on that and take it eastward, you can see that we'll have it near Clyde at 109, Port Clinton 108, Fremont 102. So we're talking about just the next couple of minutes here. We have been getting in some reports of damage and also some reports of wind gusts as well. Swanton reported a wind gust of 55 Lima, a wind gust of 70 miles an hour, and we have trees and power lines down right near Archbold at Route 66 and Route 2. So we're going to go over to Robert now. He's going to take us through more of the radar coverage here. Bobby?
Hi there. We have warnings continuing in effect.